Hello and welcome everybody. Go RGN TV, Spring Classic action here. Elimination match between LunatiK and Mostly Harmless. On to the knife round, but first, I am John Laser Jesus Hildreth, and beside me, in spirit today, is Mark, the Bacchus Monster, Wilson.
Ayo, ayo, ayo. Kind of an interesting knife round we have here. Look at this. LunatiK decided to run up mid. I don't think I've seen a team ever go for mid knife round on Mirage. But like he said, this is the Spring Classic. This is a lower bracket match, so both of these teams are fighting for their tournament hopes. Obviously, being Mirage, they want to try and get that CT side.
Yeah, not as important as, other maps, but still. It looks like it's going to go to LunatiK. And they've been a team that's, in the past, been known to pick the non-favored side. And it looks like this time they're not going to make the same mistake.
There are a few teams that do that because they're really confident on the map. They know that their T side is really good because, let's be honest, the T side is always the unfavored side, except with maybe a season. So they pick the side that they think they can get a few rounds on and kind of set a pace so that when they move to the CT side, they just shut it out.
Yeah, exactly. Danger of that is if you don't get off to a good start on the T side, things might not go your way. But here we go. Pistol round underway. LunatiK going to get that CT side, and we'll see who gets that early momentum. And again, this is an elimination match, meaning best of one, loser goes home. Very grueling format, but that's how it goes in the lower bracket.
And the last time we watched Mostly Harmless play in this lower bracket, it went to quadruple overtime against Wusa on Inferno. As fun as that was to watch, I stayed up for multiple hours beyond the time I normally go to sleep. I'm hoping this will be as exciting a game, but maybe not go quite as late. But it does look like it's going to be a B play right now from Mostly Harmless, and they're about to storm their way out of apartments. Yeah,
it's Sivu in the back of the site. He's the only guy here. He does have assistance from Scout, but he's going to go down. Scout's the only man here left to contend, but he's doing massive damage. Everybody on his team that's rotating is getting owned, though. But now they snag the advantage. Drossel onto Nifty, two Mostly Harmless members up. That's Cubed and Nitro. Got a decent position here. Nitro with the opportunity to take the player down on Cat, and oh man, that should be the round. Can't miss those if you're looking to hold that. Nitro whiffing a whole lot of shots with the Glock onto a player not even looking at him. Teammate goes down as a result, and like that, LunatiK take the first pistol round.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Scouts was basically a free kill for that man in the apartment. I think it was Nitro. And he just spammed away with that Glock and did not connect on a single bullet. Scout's turn, he's like, what is this thing that's bothering me? Oh, it's a guy. And he just shot one time straight to the head. Honestly, that was an easy kill for Nitro. Would have made it a 2-on-2. Instead, Scouts just pieced him. And it's going to be LunatiK picking up pistol.
Isn't that... It usually happens that way. Once you whiff the first couple shots with a pistol, they get increasingly harder and harder to hit as you're spraying away whatever gun it is. But yeah.
I feel like a pistol, you start shooting faster the more you miss, and it just makes it even worse.
Unless you have a Tech 9 and you're on wheels, though. With the exception. But Mostly Harmless here, working their way up mid. I'm surprised LunatiK has given them this much leadway, as now Mostly Harmless can take a peek into this window room, but Drossel already with two from on top of the ticket booth. No smokes up for Mostly Harmless. Yeah, that's a wrap. LunatiK unscathed that round, surviving with almost everybody with 100 HP. But I'm surprised LunatiK held middle so softly, but I see why. If there's nobody from Mostly Harmless with smokes, it's going to be a bad time at mid.
And the way they were stacked up in mid, it made it a really easy hold. They had a man pushing up from underpass. They had the man in window who was playing very passively, trying to watch the Cat angle. And then they had one, I believe, in connector as well. So really, what was Mostly Harmless going to do? They are going to force buy here, which is a little bit surprising. You can see if they do not win this round, they're going to be very broke. Only one player has any money left over after buying. And invert whipping an easy shot from connector could have set the round up pretty nicely for LunatiK, but he gets a ton of information. Gonna let his team know that there are three men spotted out in mid.
Still pressing up is Mostly Harmless despite the information gained by LunatiK. LunatiK does have three members in this area. Breaking the window, one from connector. Scout starts it off, but the trade is swiftly delivered by Mostly Harmless. And Mostly Harmless here have two players in the mid and one on each wing, so they can still really fall back to whatever they want to, and we might have an engagement. Oh no, that was catwalking lower. But it looks like Mostly Harmless eventually wants to rotate back to A here.
Yeah, it's hard to say what's going to actually happen. Now Drossel taking that player out A, it's going to change their plans altogether. You can see now they're opting for the B play here. They're hoping that that kill is going to force LunatiK to rotate over. Meanwhile, though, look at Tvu sitting in sight. He's got this like headshot angle. They can't really see him there. He can get information. He can only hit bodies, but he's going to go for the spam. He's going to get some information, let his team know it's definitely going to be an E play.
I love that position from Tvu. And now his teammates are already there, mostly Harmless. They got to do some firing range stuff right here. They got to hit nothing but heads immediately. Do more last man up, can't do it. And the Frenchman goes down. So LunatiK going up 3-0. And just to add to what you're saying on that Tvu position, late in the round compared to early in the round, if a rush comes through, you might not be able to spam one down as they're crossing. But if they're walking in, trying to sneak in late round, then it's super effective because you're going to be able to spam them down.
And not only that, it's informational. Like I said, they can't really see him there. You can see him if you look, but you really have to look. It's really hard to spot that player out. He blends in so well. So if he just sits there and gets the information, lets his team know they're coming, he can drop off and sit in sight right around the window side of those pillars and just wait for his team to rotate in or for the bomb to plant, sneak up on the bomber, take the kill, and just slow the round on that much more.
Exactly. Just perfect stuff from that position and demonstrating the strength. But on to another round here. Mostly Harmless has worked their way up into the A apartment. It's going to be a 2-3 split, 2 from the stairs. But with no guns and no CT spawn smoke, I don't see this going their way. They are pressing forward, getting a little real estate, and they do sneak and get the bomb down. So the first objective of the round has been secured by Mostly Harmless, but the second being get some kills on the board. Don't succeed in that, but they do get the bomb down, and now they're going to have a full buy here.
I mean, they get that extra $800 for losing, plus they're at now 4 rounds of loss bonus. It's more than enough to buy. They're even able to get an off on the board if they so choose. I imagine Nitro will be picking that up, and it is going to be tossed to him. He still hasn't found a kill. Neither has Cubed. Both of these players
money too.
They need to find a way to make something happen. And yeah, the CT side money is just, it's starting to pile up.
Yeah, Mostly Harmless here on their eco rounds. Definitely got to get some kills, but Mostly Harmless need to put some rounds on the board. Early frag by Inver, pushing up, jumping on top of the little bench there. Excellent frag by him. Unfortunately, misses the next shot. So Mostly Harmless already cut down one player before they've really had a chance to take control of anything. And LunatiK even thinking about aggressing down the stairs. So Mostly Harmless here has 4 up, and with nobody at A, they really got to look for picks here at middle. The way LunatiK's playing it, however, once the smoke dissipates at mid, Drake is going to take this peek from window, and there it is. That's one. Where's the trade? Nowhere in sight for Mostly Harmless. And now it's going to be real hard to pick up the pieces this round.
Yeah, it's a 5-on-3. Dumore is going to have to come up with something big from Connector, and there it is. The entry shot onto A, taking down Invert. That means there's only one man holding down A. That's going to be Drawsoul, who's actually in the site behind Pipes. And they are stacking up for an A take right now. Dumore is in Connector, but there's another man over towards CT spawn. That's going to be Scouts. So we'll see if he's going to get there in time to shut this out. He is in position at Ticket Booth to potentially help. He's going to toss a molly as well. It's going to slow down Dumore's ability to take the site. And it looks like it's just a matter of time before these players get pinched on by the 3-man rotating around from T-spawn. That's going to be Tvu.
Dumore is in a very forward position, though. His teammates are taken out from lower before he has a chance to really use this position. Tries to use it and eventually doesn't work. And another round where LunatiK survive with a whole bunch of players. So their economy is going to keep booming. It's going to get harder and harder for Mostly Harmless to put them on the save. And once the CTs get stacked money like that on a slightly CT-sided or more CT-sided map, that's when it gets really difficult to put any consecutive rounds on the board as the opposition. Mostly Harmless going to have to string a couple in a row. Put LunatiK on the save here. And now Mostly Harmless setting up for the A-take. They haven't done a straight-up A-take here on a gun round, and this might be the switch-up they need.
Yeah, something I noticed the last time I watched them play was that Nitro, his AK skills, his rifle skills, maybe not as good as his off. And oh, what a flash in there from LunatiK. Drawsoul gets an easy kill on Nitro. That player's still struggling. He's sitting at 0-6. Not able to find a kill just yet. Excellent play there from LunatiK. Smokes are out, though, so Mostly Harmless is still committed to taking this A bomb site, but they are just completely blind in the smoke grenade on ramp. They're running out, and there's Drawsoul picking up one more. He got what he needed to get, but trades are there for Mostly Harmless. Looks like they might be able to take the site here if they can get this kill on Invert, and they do.
Now Drake inside of the CT spawn. He's got his teammate coming in from jungle. I think the opposition knows, though. Dumore and Cubed are set up. No, they don't know T-Boo's coming. Dumore's going to look for the trade. He gets it down to a 1 versus 1. I don't think he knows Drake is flanking him. If Dumore doesn't check his jungle right now, he's going to go down. Oh my god, down to just 30 HP. Couldn't finish off the kill as Drake. Going to go for the pot flash. Peeking it with a 5-7. They both flash each other. Dumore the only guy to look away. They both had the same idea. That was hilarious. Let's both just toss a flash up in the air. But Dumore had the wherewithal to look away, and that takes balls.
Oh, the double pop flash. That was amusing. I don't think I've seen something quite like that. You could see, if you had X-ray on, you could see the arcs of both flashes. They were almost identical. I mean, it was a good idea by both players. But something I wanted to touch upon was that when Mostly Harmless played on Inferno against Wusa, early on they couldn't generate income, and as a result, Nitro couldn't get the op. The second they started getting a round, or 2 in a row, he could keep that op in his hands, and it changed the pace of the game entirely. So LunatiK really needs to win this round, break the money of Mostly Harmless, and keep them in a 5 AK buy, so that Invert can continue to abuse them with his op.
Exactly. This is a big round that decides a lot of what's going to go down, at least for the next couple rounds, and already losing one player is Mostly Harmless. Faltering to the LunatiK aggression, and there's another kill by Invert, taking his peek from the ticket booth. That's a pretty ballsy angle to peek if you only have a rifle. Does it anyways, and Mostly Harmless find themselves in another 3-on-5. Thinking about coming up the A ramp, but the positioning of LunatiK here, unless they get the entry frag onto Drossel, this is going to be the end.
My assumption is they're not even going to peek this player. At this point in the round, they don't expect somebody to be this close, and they have a 4-man stack over in this area. They've got Drake in window, Scouts on stairs, and then Invert all the way over by CT. I mean, this is going to be a really difficult take. Drossel gets one, Invert gets another. Now it's on Nitro. The man with the op. He's got full HP, and oh, nice angle played there from Drake. Just too many players to peek at the same time, and that was the round that LunatiK needed to win. At this point, the money on the T side is just going to be abysmal. So it could be LunatiK picking up maybe 1 or 2 rounds as they're going to be facing off against Ecos.
Yeah, and with only 1,400 on 3 of their players, and they're making the right decision by buying next to nothing. They might even be looking at a double save. You know, next round they're going to be looking at 34, 3,300, something like that on a couple of their players. So, and another thing they need to do for the Mostly Harmless side is get some kills on these eco rounds. They've allowed LunatiK's economy to flourish because they haven't been able to get anybody down. Big nades, nice shot by Invert early on. Now Mostly Harmless just thinking about taking into B with this smoke, but with just 3 players remaining, they find themselves in a lot of 3 versus 5 before they take into these sites.
Yeah, if they don't take this site, wow, nice spam down from Tibu. He does get dropped by Dumore. Dumore does not get bomb plant, but without the bomb plant, they're really going to have a tough situation here. They get 1,900 for the loss, but that extra $800 would have put few players back on buy, so it is going to be a double eco here. We're going to see a few players probably pick up armor, and we do more in E mode. At this point, though, I mean, LunatiK looking really good. 7 rounds already. We're in round number 9. Even if they lose out, it's not the worst score I've seen on Inferno. If they can hit, or on a Mirage for that matter, if they can hit 9 rounds, they're in comfort zone where they can kind of relax a little bit because they've already hit the bare minimum.
Yeah. That is true. I'm sure they do not want to coast, however. And look at this smoke at mid. Not optimal by Mostly Harmless. Going to allow Invert to peek through if he wants to. But Drake's son needs no assistance with the triple headshot on the catwalk. Albeit an eco round. Good stuff from Drake. 8-1 now for LunatiK. And this next round, if Mostly Harmless doesn't break LunatiK here on their gun round, I don't see them coming back this match because LunatiK has been shutting down Mostly Harmless. They've only won 1 round this entire time, and if Mostly Harmless can't string these 2 rounds together, their half is going to be abysmal. Looking at, 13-2, 12-3, something like that, and that's generous at this point.
Yeah, and the big thing right now is that Cubed and Nitro, 0-9. They've died every single round and have not gotten a kill every single round. Only 1 player has even survived 1 round, and that was Dumore. There you can see Nitro picked up that op in mid, took the duel against Invert. Looks like he legged him through the wall, took him down to 70. So that's yet another duel that Nitro loses out on, and he's really struggling to find some stability here.
Yeah, and the bad part about it is Nitro doesn't have as many opportunities as, say, Invert, the opera of LunatiK, does, because Mostly Harmless is saving up just for him to get that AWP, and if he doesn't get anything done with it, it's put some different thoughts into your teammate's head, like should they be forcing more? should we be waiting for the AWP to come out? But 2 more frags for LunatiK, and Cubed and Nifty up here. No economical damage done again to LunatiK. He's gonna walk away with 5 players. This is disastrous for Mostly Harmless. If they don't win this next gun round, it's over.
So you're saying the opportunities are not really going Nitro's way? Huh.
I think that might be the oldest pun in the book of Counter-Strike.
I had to bust it out. I mean, the truth is, Nitro is an opper, and he's only been able to get it twice, I think, this entire game. He's been able to put an op in his hands, and both times he's lost a duel. So it's not a surprise that he's struggling. But at the same time, those op kills get you $100. So even if he gets 1 or 2, it's not really like he's building up a massive amount of bank getting those kills, because he's just not able to generate enough revenue to justify the purchase. So they might have to stick with a 5 AK buy the rest of this game unless they can get like 2 rounds in a row where they can start building some money up.
Yeah. And now this round, Drossel pushing up into A pallets, dropping to Mostly Harmless. They do get an entry into the A-bomb site, but it's only going to be 1. LunatiK going up 10-1 here. And just to add to what you're saying about Nitro, a lot of teams, when they get shut down and on all their set strats, you know, their A take, their B takes, maybe the coordinated take from lower and mid into connector and A split, if all those get shut down, a lot of times you just say, all right, let's have our opper try to open somewhere up. Your opper's only touched that gun twice, and, you know, Invert's already on with it. And Mostly Harmless, running out of chances here.
And look at the money on the CT side. There were 2 players at 16K at the end of that round. They still have 4 players sitting on 5 figures, scouts just beneath at 9,700. I mean, they can pretty much buy out for the rest of this game. Even if Mostly Harmless wins the rest of these rounds 10-5, it's not exactly the greatest T-side half. That's pretty much bare minimum if you're a T-side. I've seen teams get less and come back, but you want to get at least 6. And I just don't see Mostly Harmless even getting the 5. Realistic scoreline, 13-2, 12-3 at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And it gets hard. It gets harder and harder to make those comebacks when you know you have no chance to make any mistakes, and anything you do wrong could potentially cost the match. But Mostly Harmless here, they do get the entry. Very forward position here as scouts. I don't think Mostly Harmless is going to have any idea that he's here. Gets the first one. Mostly Harmless is blind. Scout spams down the second. He's going to burn to death thanks to Emo's Molly, though. And Mostly Harmless has already taken the A-bomb site, but Invert from jungle and Tivu jumps up on the ticket booth, getting picked off 1 by 1. Mostly Harmless here. They're trying to retain control of the bomb site for their teammate Dumore to come through with the bomb. Couldn't hang on to it. Couple holes in the smokes, and LunatiK take another one, 11-1. And if I'm Mostly Harmless, I'm forcing them up here.
Yeah, at this point, you can't give up any more rounds. It doesn't matter what you can buy, just keep buying, because you have max loss bonus. Even if you got guys on Galil's or Tech 9 armors, you got to make something happen, because you're not going to just damage the economy of the other team, and the economy doesn't matter anymore. At this point, you need to win out. You need to get 11-4. And again, I mean, every opportunity that they've had has gone LunatiK's way, and you can see it's already happening that way as Drakeson picks off 2 from underpass. Invert gets 1 with the op, and I mean, we're so early in the round, and it's already a 5-on-2.
Yeah, 124 and already down 3 players. LunatiK just running house all across the board, all across the map. Every position being addressed here and there from LunatiK, and Mostly Harmless just falling further and further behind, digging himself a bigger and bigger hole. Sure, the map's CT-sided, but you gotta figure LunatiK's gonna put bare minimum of 5 on the board. But
oh yeah, I mean, at this point, LunatiK's thrilled. This momentum is going to carry into the T side, even if this ended 10-5. Yeah, I mean, look at the money. 16K on 3 players. That's absurd. That's after buying. Like, after they left spawn, I don't even know how that's possible. They're still sitting at 16K. They probably didn't have to buy a nade.
Right, they could buy the other team as well as themselves for the rest of the half after everybody dying on the round, which is very rare to see. But let's see, Mostly Harmless here, running out of chances. Nitro onto Invert, though. Invert getting a little too confident from the window, and now they have intel that one of LunatiK's members is pushing up Catwalk as well. Is it going to prompt him to fall off? No, Drake going to smoke it. Keep peeking mid. LunatiK so confident here. Just after losing a player, not even hunkering down, Drake's going to continue to press up mid, go for the advantage, and he gets it. Nitro trying to get boosted up, no dice, and now Mostly Harmless. That was their ticket into the bomb site. Now they're stuck at mid.
Yeah, but they did get a nice kill on Drake there, who was getting into the ladder room. Scouts is going to clean up one. That's Doomore. Nifty and Doomore combined for a kill on Drossel. Scouts responds before being traded out. It's going to make it a 2 versus 1, so finally an opportunity here for Mostly Harmless, but that is shut down quickly by Tvu. It's going to make it a 1 versus 1. It's going to be Emode and Tvu duking it out over on the A bomb site. Bomb is down. Tvu making his way towards ticket booth. Emode just creeping his way up towards stairs. And Tvu with the aggressive peek. That's the confidence showing through right there. They already know they have 12 rounds. Why not just go for it? Because you want to get in the head of your opponent. And unfortunately, Tvu loses the duel, but I don't even think it matters at this point. 12-2 is the scoreline coming into the final round.
Well, when you get into those really big disparities, like on the edges of a team barely winning a round, 12-2, 13-1, all those when any of the rounds, the final rounds, make such a big impact. Because if the team losing can win pistol round, it's just a few opportunities for them to make a mistake on their comeback side. So if Mostly Harmless can win pistol, I'm reaching here, I'm stretching. If they can win pistol, they might have a chance, but we'll see. Mostly Harmless now taking up. Ooh, good shot by Cube. Tvu getting caught over towards the B side, not playing his angle inside the site. Mostly Harmless still hanging on to middle control, but Drossel pushes downstairs, and now once again, Mostly Harmless all caught in the middle. Where do they go?
Yeah, they got to force the issue somewhere. The slow play they're doing doesn't really seem to work for them. They need to get a little bit more aggressive. They need to change up the pace. And right now, they are trying to get a little more aggressive than they have been. They've got a man up cat. That's going to be Doomore. And Drakeson is on the van, but I don't think he's wise to this. So he's going to spot him out. They do see each other. Drakeson gets the angle, starts dinking him down. Invert's right around the corner to trade him out. Excellent crossfire play there. Drakeson gets one. Invert does go down before that comes in. It's going to make it a 3v2 right now. Emode gunned down by Scouts. Bomb down to the B bomb site. And now it's on Nitro to try and make things happen. 66 HP already spotted out by Scouts. He is in such a terrible position. He's going to be flanked by Drossel. He needs to be worried. Drossel does make some noise here, so Nitro's going to know, but it's the final round. Nitro has no choice but to go for it. And there you go, the scoreline we talked about, 13-2. This is, I got to be honest, this isn't the score I would have anticipated. I thought that it would have been much closer, probably close to 8-7.
Yeah, at the end of this match, I was looking for 16-12, 16-13 LunatiK. But like this, if pistol round isn't won by Mostly Harmless, that is all she wrote. But I guess we have one chance to direct you guys to the giveaways today. We have our Azubu follower giveaway. All you got to do is make an account here on Azubu, follow us up, and then you are entered in for the Orion giveaway at 1,500. We are just over 100 away. And also our CEO David giving away an M4 Asimov on Twitter. You got to be following him at RGN David, us at GoRGNTV, and find the tweet to retweet by David, and you are in that. He is almost to his mark. But here we go, 13-2, Mostly Harmless. Win, or it's over.
The big thing right now is Mostly Harmless. Combined kills for their entire team in that half, 22 kills. Which for one player would be a really good half. You can see, the top 5 group right now for LunatiK, Drossel has 20. So they got 22 kills total. That's just 1.35, a little bit over FPR. And you can see exactly what's happening here. LunatiK just completely destroying Mostly Harmless. They just stormed the bomb site with comfort. That's a 5K for LunatiK. Not a single death on the board. Just
that looked like a dry run.
What happened?
That looked like a straight up dry run from LunatiK. Nobody from Mostly Harmless able to win a duel, and four duels, 0-1 by your team, being down 13-2. I'm gonna have to chalk that up to tilt. When you're down that much and everything relies on your first couple shots with a USP, otherwise you're gonna get swarmed in on by T's. It makes it a lot harder to hit the shots that you normally hit when you're feeling good, feeling on form. And now, Mostly Harmless going for the force spy, which they have to. LunatiK creeping up into B, and nobody's really peeking for Mostly Harmless, so they're not going to have ample time to rotate in. It is going to be a really tough hold. Here come LunatiK, but no, Mostly Harmless. Nifty as well as Nitro. Nifty with 2 from the bench, and suddenly LunatiK only has 2 players left.
And if they could somehow make this work, this would be a huge round for them. If the deficit wasn't as large as it was already, I'd say that this round would have massive repercussions, and that Mostly Harmless could start bringing it back because of the confidence boost they just got, but they're down 14-2. It's just a matter of time before LunatiK puts the rounds together, and we've seen how they've been playing so far I mean, their team play has just, they've been outplaying Mostly Harmless. They are going to win this round, so 14-3. I'd love to see Mostly Harmless at this point just bring it to a more respectable scoreline, because nothing feels worse than going down by such a massive deficit.
Exactly. 16-2, they would at all costs like to avoid that, but look at Mostly Harmless here. After force buying, their economy has been boosted significantly because LunatiK was trying to end the match right there. That was their game winner. They all bought up rifles. So Mostly Harmless now has been gifted a whole bunch of T-side rifles, and that might be what they need to come back. You know, if a few of them go down this round, they're still going to have ample money because they didn't have to buy up this round. But here come LunatiK into the A-bomb site. Only one inside the CT spawn. If Emo goes down, this is going to be real dangerous. But Emo hangs on with the FAMAS. Finally falls to Invert. And at this point, LunatiK might be able to get the bomb down. Invert has a chance. 1 HP. And he's going to go down. Western style through the box.
You know, prior to these last few rounds, Nitro had 1 kill. He had 1 kill coming into half. This is supposed to be the guy who's going to lead the way. He's the opera for the team. He needs to set a pace right now. Up in his hand, he needs to get like a 3K at least to build that confidence back up so that he can do what he did against Wusa, where he top fragged with like 40-some kills. Obviously, quad OT, so stats are a little bit juked. But still, he is going to open up the round with an op frag, and I think that's what he needs to do. He just needs to remind himself that he is capable of getting these kills.
Yeah, and he gets the first one, leaves up his teammates to try to hold it off, and now LunatiK has an entrance into the bomb site. Down goes Nitro, flanked by Tivu onto the other member in sight. He was still trying to hang on to lower, and this is a disastrous for Mostly Harmless here. They need this round. They can't afford to lose it. Down goes another player, 2 more. 1 on 2 now. Narrows it down. 1 player, gotta hit the heads. Still peeking them is Drakeson. Tivu and both of them are peeking it from the site. They don't have to, but Ollie starting connector, not a bad idea. Dumar gets the first one, tries to run through the smoke, has no other option at that point. And LunatiK sneak one by, and I would have liked to see Nitro get a little bit more confident with those mid peaks. Even though there was a smoke up, he jumped, missed the shot. I don't know. And now Mostly Harmless on the ropes here.
You know, some nights you're just not feeling it, and I kind of think he probably should have just gotten out a window the second the smokes came in, probably tried to get towards connector, get a better position, or try to use the smoke to boost up into ladder room, drop on cat. Just something. Get into a better spot, because obviously you're not going to do much behind the smokes. He did try to jump these, obviously did not hit him. I think he was starting to feel his confidence, but he just didn't get it back. TV was going to take down 2 more. Nitro connect on a draw soul. Cubed Nitro getting 2 more. And all of a sudden, it's on Tivu to make this happen, a 1 versus 4, but there's 15 rounds at this point. The cruise control button has been pressed by LunatiK. They can coast for quite a bit of time before they have to worry. Mostly Harmless has to win 10 rounds in a row, and with the way that LunatiK has been playing, I just can't see that happening. LunatiK, you can talk all day about duels and kills and aim. LunatiK's team play has been better. Flashing in, trading out, it's all been top-notch for LunatiK, whereas Mostly Harmless has been very shaky.
Yeah, it's almost as if they've been stunned a little bit. And LunatiK here, going for an interesting eco round, but an effective one here. If they can get out on the bomb site, avoid the guy in connector, that's going to be Cube peeking from the stairs. We have 1 player going to be flashing in, and this is a pop flash rush. Here we go. Pop flash comes in, opening frag, go the way of LunatiK. They're going to be continuing to press into the bomb site. Cube as well as Nitro are holding on to it for the time being. We've got to get the players in the site down for LunatiK as the rotate is on its way. Going for the ninja plant. That is the primary objective here on the save rounds. And Scout falls. So the only Tivu up versus the too many CTs. They do a good amount of damage there. And taking a look at E-mode, with this amount of damage, it might cost them some nades. No, they're going to be able to drop E-mode. So now another gun round for LunatiK and 9 rounds to put it away. And like you're saying, cruise control. You can feel them out at this point. You don't have to go for your set plays just yet. You don't have to show them all your stuff just yet. You can still poke and prod at them, try to figure out their defense before they have to end it.
They do have to be a little bit careful. I've seen teams more often than not get complacent, where they've gotten so comfortable with their lead that they don't really try, and as a result, they let a team creep back in. At this point, LunatiK's on match point, so it is really just a matter of time. It doesn't matter if you win 16-14 or 16-2. A win is a win. There's no round differential here, so they're thrilled either way. So yeah, they can actually ride that cruise control as long as they remember to turn it off and take the rounds they need to take.
Did you just put a spin on a Vin Diesel quote? Hold that thought. LunatiK coming up the stairs here. 1 from the apartments, 4 up the stairs. And look at all these smokes from LunatiK. It's allowing them to get such forward positioning. They're not even going for the bomb plant right away. They're going for these kills, trying to stuff the rotate Tivu in the cubby at connector. And if the CTs don't check this, they are in trouble. But still, LunatiK unable to get the bomb down. They got a player in CT as well coming up on the flank, being crunched in. LunatiK losing 1 player at a time, as well as Drossel here, but they do frag it out. Bring it back to a 2-on-2. Mostly Harmless here. Have a pinch on the site. What a shot by Drossel. Nitro posted up at the crack pick with the op, but we're down to a 1-on-1. Drossel so low. He has time to try to play with the head of Nifty, but he is just going to get the bomb plant down. He's not going to have optimal time to try to get out of the site. Has to hit an immediate headshot. Doesn't do it. Mostly Harmless staying alive. 7-15. But did you just use a Vin Diesel quote?
Not intentionally, but I guess we'll all play it off as yes, I did.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Winning is winning. Oh, classic. I gotta admit,
Words
I
to
haven't
live
seen
by
the
right
new
there.
one. I'm a little
Oh,
disappointed.
yeah? I went and saw it. No shame.
I saw the first one 3 times in the theaters. No shame.
No shame.
Box statistics coming out right now.
The box office statistics, I'm done. But LunatiK here, coming up inside of the B apartments. Nobody throwing any fake for them. So the moment this smoke dissipates from Mostly Harmless, it's going to be a battle inside the site. We see Dumore taking a page out of Tivu's book, sitting at that angle. And once this smoke dissipates, it's going to be game on. The LunatiK's going to go ahead and go right in.
Ooh, and Nifty got tagged. That was a bit of a miss throw, and the Molly dropped on the balcony instead of into pit. Dumore's going to pick up 2. Nitro's there with the help from the off. So now it's on Scouts and Invert to make this happen. It's a 2 versus 3. Scouts does get 1. Nitro picking up some speed with that off. Gets another kill. Actually tags Invert to the edge of the wall there. It's going to take him down to 20 HP. Invert with a nice headshot from the AK. He's got to be careful. He's getting pushed from apartments right now. He's trying to spot this man out window, but there's the support from Cube. Mostly Harmless is starting to get into that comfortable money position that we had talked about in the first half, where if they could keep an op on Nitro, it changes the pace. And you can just see how much better he is, how much more proficient he is with an op versus an M4 or an AK. He went from like 1 and 15 to 12 and 19 in only a few rounds. That's pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good. And LunatiK here, bringing 4 of their players up the middle. Op misses from, I believe that's Nitro, and that's 2 shots in a row miss. So LunatiK here have a chance to either go up catwalk or connector. See if they have that smoked at middle. Looks like they do have it smoked off just well enough to nullify anybody trying to shoot at them from catwalk, but they're only bringing 1 player up there, and that's Drossel. Now they're going to sit stagnantly, having Drake join them inside of the tunnels. So they're relying on Drossel a lot here. Not only are they relying on the entry pick, Drossel's got a lot of work to do to cut off the rotates.
Yeah, he's got in a really good position here on ladder room. I'm amazed he got here so easily. And I guess it's just because of the way they're playing this passive man in mid and cubed. Way back behind the vent. They do have a man pushed up on A ramp. He's getting a lot of information, letting his team know that there's nothing there. The big player for the CT side, though, is going to be Nifty. Will LunatiK peek this man off balcony? They do. He goes for the drive-by just behind. Scout gets him, and there we go. There's the take on the site. Dumore's going to get Invert down, though, so it's going to be an even trade 4 versus 4. But they got the bomb planted. 2 quick kills come in. All of a sudden, 4 on 2.
Tournament life on the line here. Mostly Harmless, Emote, as well as Nitro, both in the kitchen. Trying to cook up a clutch here. Moving out. Got Scouts and Drake to beat. Drake inside of the halls here. He's left his teammate all alone at the bench, so Drake's got to fight for the planter. He's got to defend the defuse. Not going to happen. Emote steps it up. 15-9. Now Mostly Harmless. You know, closer and closer, more believable. But 6 rounds still. I mean, Mostly Harmless have to do what they've done in the past 5 rounds, and then a little more. LunatiK here still have a couple options to do. They hit A once more, try to contest that op once you have the spawn at mid to try to kill Nitro, but Nitro has the spawn here, and Invert's not going to go for it. It's going to be A.
You know, this is what mostly Harmless did against Wusaw and Inferno. They let Wusaw win 3 rounds on their CT side, and overtime, I think 3. And it looked like it was going to be the game going to Wusaw, and somehow they brought it back. And every time their backs were against the wall, they somehow fought back, and made it a game. And that's what they're doing right now. Right now, Nitro, 13 and 19. Not that great of a scoreline. But if you consider that he was, I think, 1 and 15 at the half, that means he's now 12 and 4. If you were 12 and 4, that's more than a respectable kill-death ratio. He's sitting at 3-1 for an AWPer on your side. So he's definitely turned a new leaf. Mostly Harmless is looking really good here, trying to take it back.
If they've just had a few more rounds to play with, it'd be looking promising, but LunatiK at any point here, any sign of weakness from Mostly Harmless could spell the end. And now, trying to take their way into A. Trade 1 player for 2, Mostly Harmless, but they do go down. Scouts, oh my, from up top, finally gets ended. And Drossel and Drake, last 2 tees up, 2-on-2. Mostly Harmless cannot lose this round, or their tournament life is over. Just down to Nifty now, 1-on-2, trying to peek in. And it is not a flash, it is a decoy. Bomb gets planted, and they have the read on where Nifty is. Gonna try to throw some flashbangs onto him, and then go for the peek. No, they're both holding on to the... Oh my god, he makes it a 1-on-1. Only 8 HP onto Drossel. Drossel's got to hit his head immediately, but no, Nifty in the 1-on-2. Keeping Mostly Harmless alive. And they've won a couple of these nail biters to keep in this. 15-10 for LunatiK.
Yeah, Nifty the stand-in there, coming up with a huge clutch, giving his team, or temporary team for that matter, the ability to stay in this game. 15-10. You know, even if Mostly Harmless loses at this point, at least it doesn't look nearly as bad as 16-2. They have really clawed back, and this is that cruise control mentality from LunatiK eSports, sort of backfiring a little bit because they got so comfortable with their lead that they've actually made this more than manageable for Mostly Harmless to force overtime. It would be one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen on a map that wasn't Nuke.
Right, Nuke comebacks are always real, but Mostly Harmless is Nitro. Gets one, tries to peek out, but the new op prevents him from going for the peek he would have liked to. So now LunatiK, 4-4. Trying to take their way up the catwalk. Smoke is alright. Still standing through it is Emo, though. Drossel with another one. This could be it. And now they're going to get it boosted inside of jungle. Only 1 man up inside the A bomb thing. Emo goes down, and this might be the end for Mostly Harmless. Even if they try to rotate, they're cut off from kitchen. They're cut off from spawn. Mostly Harmless. This is as difficult of a clutch as it gets.
This is the LunatiK we saw in the first half. Whoa, nice from Dumore, but Drossel is there on the trade, and again, it's down to Nifty. And again, it's a 1 versus 2. Tivu and Drake, last 2 standing here for LunatiK. Very passive positions from these players.
He has a smoke.
1 in market, or jungle, and 1 in connector, and he does have a smoke. What's he going to do with it? He's going to smoke off the bomb. He tosses a flash. Is he going to go for the ninja defuse? He is on it. 4, 3, oh! A valiant effort, but Mostly Harmless cannot bring it back. Nifty going for the ninja defuse there in round number 26 to try and take it to 15-11 instead. LunatiK takes it 16-10. Almost bringing it back there, way closer of a game than it should have been.